Oh yes, good day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's very different video on YouTube. I'm actually walking around Forge Mill Lake, which is not far away from the Sandwell Nature Reserve. It's a bit somehow different. I can actually see so many ducks here. I can see what seems to be a lot of widgeon. I never expected to see. That's interesting. Seems to be quite a lot of widgeon right over in that lake. That's somehow quite nice. I'm not going to go too close to the water end, but I'm just seeing so many widgeon. There's actually quite a dozen of them. There you go. Look at that. There's only just a few of them right here. I can just see about how many. And there's a robin inside on one of the hedges. One of the wood areas here. There's a lot of like widgeon ducks right there, just straightforward diving on the water and stuff. It's freezing cold, and I tell you what, it's only like about 8 degrees Celsius. It's absolutely freezing cold as hell. And oh my goodness, there's actually quite a lot of widgeon right here. I can only see about, I'll probably say about 4 males. I can see a bit of pochard. I don't know. I don't know how much I could really see that many birds. It's quite quiet today because it's the Christmas holidays and everything is all shut. I can only just see about how many widgeon? There's about 3, 4, probably about 4, let's say 8 widgeon. That's quite a lot of widgeon somehow. I did see a pochard. That's actually quite a lot of these ducks. They're straightforward everywhere. It's quite nice that there's some widgeon right here. Rarely ever see that many widgeon. That's quite interesting to have that number. Oh, I can see a few more, probably 10. That's quite a lot of widgeon. Somehow they've came here as their wintering grounds. And they really dab a little bit differently. They actually do behave quite differently than many other ducks. Anyways, I might as well just straightforward skedaddle away and move on to something else. Yeah, unfortunately, the feeding frenzy, as unfortunate as this sounds, unfortunately, the feeding frenzy hasn't been that great. And that's probably because I haven't brought in that much bread. So, oh well. Obviously, I was expecting to have bread from the plane when I flew back to Malaysia. To be straightforward available right over at my doorstep so that I can store the bread so that they can be fed to the birds, but alas, unfortunately, that somehow didn't work. But I can see lots and lots of other ducks and other birds alike. In fact, I'm actually seeing more widgeon. Oh my god, there's a big gathering of widgeon here, but also tufted duck, pochards. That is a lot of like other ducks. I've somehow never expected. There's just so many of them here. Oh wow. It's actually quite a beautiful nature reserve. I tell you what, it's fairly awesome. And there's even more here. There's actually lots and lots of widgeon here. I would have actually seen just one of them, a fairly lonesome one at Elusive Lakes, but now I'm actually seeing so many widgeon. That is potentially very interestingly shocking. I'm not seeing that much. I can see teal, about 2 of them. There's actually so many widgeon here. I'm actually really quite shocked and surprised to see that many. That is potentially very nice seeing so much widgeon here. You can't see any other birds right over in that river. Would have been herons and other birds that would have reside here. Fairly awesome. And these, what looks like to be a very strange gathering of what looks like to be very big bright white things here. They're meant to be goosanders. I can just see about a lot of male goosanders. I can just see a huge entree of them. Can you see those big faint looking white rectangle things right over in the background? These are goosanders. There's just so many of these, what you call them, sawbill ducks. Lots of ducks right here. I can also see a bit of teal. Oh my goodness, there's actually quite a lot of duck activity right over at this lake here. There's pochard here. There's actually quite a huge gathering of these birds, highly looking like hay, that they are finding the place very much their home. And you can see the goosanders travelling around. It's just so beautiful. There's teal. There's also widgeon here as well. I can just see a few teal. It's beautiful. I can see lots of goosandas. Wow, there's actually quite a lot of these birds. Quite amazing. I can see a pochard. Pochard is right over here. I can just see it. It's a bit different too. Oh, look at the way it's just dive into the water here. The tufted ducks, pochards. I'm not sure. Wow, I'm not sure about this. But I'm actually seeing a huge gathering of pochards. That is a lot of pochards. And there's even more of these birds. Let me just jump cut for a while here. I think just now I just saw a German Shepherd dog owner that has actually spooked off a female goosander which was swimming nonchalantly through the river, and it just got spooked. And there's, whoa, look at this amount of songbirds here. That is a huge gathering of songbirds. There's just so many of them here. There's just so many, whoa, lots of little finches. Sorry, my camera's actually very blurry at the moment here. I'm trying to go absolutely slowly as I can. Oh, there you go, the resolution's back again. And oh my god, I don't know about you, but I'm seeing so many black-headed gulls right over here. Who knows, the bird watching trend could probably thin down as time goes by. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. It's amazing, I'm just seeing so many like songbirds, water birds. Let's see how many waders. I can see cormorants. I can see a great number of different birds. There's lots of like little songbirds, chaffinches, goldfinches, maybe greenfinches, tits. Quite a lot of other birds. It's just so fantastic. Hopefully I didn't tread on anything. Seems like I've been fairly productive so far this year. Whoa, so many birds. And right over here is definitely where... That's the Lake Island, but the big question is, are there any lapwings? Let's see if they are. Quite curiously, right over here in this part of the lake, I can see a very lonely male shoveler duck. Oh, that's pretty sad. I don't think I've seen that many shovelers right here. But as I'm looking around, alas, it just seems to be no lapwings. And the bird hide here is closed. I can see some cormorants. They're just straightforward preening their feathers. What's that bird here? Is that a moorhen or is it a grebe? I can't really tell. But it does look very misty as hell. That's the best part about it. Actually, yes, just kidding. I can just see a lapwing that's actually tucked in the background. It's actually straightforward. If I just zoom in, there's actually one lapwing here. Which, I don't think you can really see it, but it's somehow a little bit further away. I can just see a little white thing that's just moving. I presume that's lapwing. I can see crow, but I can just see that little hint of lapwing tucked in the very background. Oh, look how fast that thing is going. Look at that duck. It's actually travelling very, very fast. Well, she's travelling fast because that's a female. Yeah, whoa, lots of songbirds. The whole nature reserve is a bit somewhat totally different. I think when I came here in August with someone else, I did see a bigger flock of lapwings. But I'm not seeing it this time here. It's a little bit drab, a little bit sad this time, hey? It's a little bit different. I don't know what 2025 is about to host real soon. And, oh, crikeys, I think the pathway is so uneven. That's why I keep on tripping over things. Like that last time when I went into that jungle in Malaysia, I had a very nasty wound. I should have looked down towards my feet because there's a lot of like nasty rocks. And there's some seagulls right here. It's quite a nasty pavement. It's very uneven. More songbirds, along with the two seagulls there. Oh, man. Absolutely cold as hell. There's a lot of, like, I don't know what to really say, hey, but it's absolutely... Whoa, look at this huge flock of what I presume to be black-headed gulls. The other big ones, the other two, I presume they were lesser blackbacks. There's just so many of them. They all come here to winter here. That's a big commemoration of them. You can just see how many they're just gathering and... Oh, there's a lapwing! Did you see that? That here is a lapwing. Look at the way it's flying. It moves like a bat. It's so different. It's a fairly different somehow in the way it flies. There you go. I did show you that there was a lapwing here. And I can just see the lapwing that's just doing its little flapping action. And wow, I won't believe of just how much activity this bird is flapping around. It's just so amazing. Maybe I need to come back sometime around, maybe in another time, I guess, sometime next year. But that looks quite stunning. Somehow I don't see that many other birds that are also in that section here. That's a bit strange. In the islands, Lake Islands, I can't see other birds. It's just lapwings and just water birds. Sorry about that. And there's the local dog walkers here. Seems like very convincing stuff somehow. And presumably it's another German Shepherd on the move and stuff too. Mind you, it feels so different compared to what I've just seen in Malaysia. With all these wading birds in the beaches of Selangor. So many wading birds. I've seen so many plovers. I think next year I'd probably say none. Maybe not that much. But here is therefore the other side of the lake here. I'm just going to be straightforward walking around side to side because, hey, I don't think I'll be walking around the whole lake. I'm just going to be doing a side to side, probably because the whole reserve is entirely closed. And I just hate getting lost somehow. That's what I'm actually aiming for. And there's a crow right here. There's just so many of them. Look at the way that crow is just flying in the background. There's just so many birds right here. It's totally, ultimately, irresistible. Yeah, the high tide so far has not actually been very nice to the Lake Islands, which would have provided lots and lots of migratory wading birds for the long refuge trip, as they would have actually flown all the way, well, let's just say from different parts of the world, because waders are migratory birds. And for some reason, it seems like that the high tide lakes have actually been very kind to what I would probably presume... Oh, there's another shoveler here. That's interesting. I can see the little white thing here. They're not as big as gooseanders. Somehow, I think when I looked at the gooseanders, they actually appeared a bit bigger and also a bit creamier. A bit more buffier and yellow. And there you go. Look at the tidal currents. Look how much water there is. Look at the river itself. It is just cascading absolutely fast. That's how it actually is straightforward. Look at the river. It's actually getting really fast. So much of that water activity, it's just moving rapidly fast. It's so drastically different to the way I've just seen things. It's just so brilliant and fantastic at all times. And as I'm looking around, side by side, and there's even more shoveler ducks. I just saw a couple of them just flying ahead. But yeah, you can just see how much bird life there is here. Hopefully I should straightforward see if there's any more areas I can spot many wintering waterfowl type birds. I don't know, maybe sometime next week, maybe around January, I should try and find a very good spot for bird watching and stuff like that. And who knows, a bit of plane spotting. Who knows, there could be more of that coming out next year, but I definitely think not so much. But hey, it looks quite somehow fantastic. There's just so much bird life around here. I can see a pair of shovelers swimming. There's actually more shovelers right here, and you can actually just see there's actually a couple of, there's a mallard duck here flying. I can see another pair of shovelers. There's actually a few more shovelers right here. I can just see quite a few of them. There's actually quite a few males. I can see different gulls right here. I can see other kinds of other specimens here. I don't know what the hell am I looking at. I can see more seagulls right here. I don't know. I don't know. I can just see quite a few shovelers right here. I can just see about 3 pairs of them. 3 pairs of the ducks. And I can also see, I can see gadwall right here on that side here. So many of these ducks right here, they always come here for a nice feed. And remembering it's straightforward, the Christmas holidays, meaning that everyone is straightforward breaking up, and not that much is left for the bird watchers to continue watching birds. And look at that, I just had to jump out here. That was my fault because I accidentally noticed that there were so many other ducks. And look at this, that is a big, oh my goodness, there's so many. Whoa, it's a big duck flock. Whoa, look at that. It's like some sort of air show going on here with the ducks and stuff. It's straightforward coming out some sort of weird formation. Just amazing, just stunning. I just saw some goosanders. Whoa, crikeys. Just somehow fantastic. And I've also got these wellies on, just to let you know, I'm actually walking with a different kind of footwear, just because, you know, obviously when I have Wellingtons on, it makes a totally big difference. And that number one difference is definitely adapting for muddier terrain. Although that being said, it's not always that great. Oh man, look at the rest of the whole lake here. It's all been straightforward, bedraggled, all covered up with trees and stopping the people from actually threatening the reserve. And oh well, this is a completely fantastic looking reserve. Funny, I would have nearly swore at this point. But it is nice. It is a nice reserve. And I think there's some sort of is there a feeding frenzy I can recall here? Seems like I can hear a very distant feeding frenzy going around here. My goodness me. Look at all the other birds. They're congregating to the lakeshore. The major lakeshore. Because I know there's bread around here. My goodness me. Apart from the other ducks, which are pretty shy. Oh, look at the other birds. They're all coming straight for their feeding time. They're all hungry. And it seems like they haven't got their Christmas dinner. Who knows about that? Well, crockies, there's more widgeon here. I'm actually seeing so many widgeon than what I nearly expected. Oh, here comes a much bigger feeding frenzy. All captured on camera here. Look at that. Look at the way they just swarm. They're just everywhere. I think they can smell human food. Oh my goodness me. Don't know if I should run after them, or maybe not. Oh, there's some sort of commotion here with the mallard ducks right here. Wonder what they're really chatting about. There's just so many mallard ducks right here. Look at the way they're just quacking for nothing. They're just quacking randomly at all times. Look at that. Even though my camera is just blowing so badly. Oh, look at that. There's just so many rare birds here. Look at that many goosanders. This is just somehow fantastic. Wonder what they're all quacking about. I've got no idea. I don't know if there's any more feeding business right here. There's more geese right here. Don't know if there's even more birds I want to somehow see. Look at that. And surprisingly, I haven't seen that much in the way of other birds. I can see 2 gadwalls and I can see a goosander flying in the background. And then there's a black-headed gull just straightforward squawking out of my footage. There's just so many of them here. It's actually quite a fantastic trip somehow. Oh, look at the farm. Absolutely listen up for Christmas. Look at that. Look at all these fantastic little Christmas lights that they have in the farm here. Such a fantastic place. And strangely enough, as I'm walking around through this lake here, I would have actually suspected that there's also other birds here that I would have actually been quite straightforward. I don't know what to really say here. Oh, look at the black-headed gull. Look at that seagull. It's been drifted away by the currents of the river here. It's just crazy. Look at that seagull here. It's having a rough time. Oh my gosh. Crockies, look at that seagull. It's been bombarded by the currents of the water here. That's really, really hectic. I think I would have suspected seeing... Oh, look at that white thing. I can just see it. That there is something I would have seen back in Malaysia. That is a little egret. Something I would have seen back home in Malaysia. A lot of these birds seems quite fantastic in that purpose. What a genuine coincidence. Yep, old friends do really come back. As I'm straightforward one with Mother Nature. Yeah, as I'm walking around through this lake here, there's not much I could really see through this huge kaleidoscope of trees here. Not that much. It seems the lake is much quieter than I initially thought of. Look how different it is now. Well, that's interesting. I would have actually suspected of seeing common raven in that part of the telephone wires. I think I just saw a bigger crow. For some reason, I'm seeing carrion crow, but then also at the same time, I'm also seeing common raven. Or is it just a carrion crow that has just gone big? Oh, look at the way it's flying. That black-headed gull. Oh, it's going to go up to the other side of the river. How fantastic is that? And we've also got a couple of Canadian geese. Look at the way they're just flying pairs. How fantastic is that? And there's a huge feeding frenzy of seagulls right there. In fact, there's a small act of them going around here. Oh, look at the way they're just bombarding. They're just barging in just to see what kind of food. I bet it's bread that they're picking off. Look at that. Bit of a fight. All these seagulls are just after a bit of bread. Oh, there's a crow here. It's going after them as well. Whoa, look at that. What a complete fight. Well, I'm just going to leave this whole video as it is. So, not much I could really say here, but if you really enjoyed this very impressive video, please give this video a like. Subscribe for more such videos in the future. Not that much in the way of bird watching, but... Oh! There's those goose gander again. Oh, lovely birds. As always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.